everyone, Ava here. Today I'm at the press day for Smosh the movie with
Alex Winter.
And this is On the Spot Interviews. Well, great to meet you. You have a primary role in this film. You were the director. Tell us how you first got this opportunity.
I'm a Smosh fan. My kids are Smosh fans, and I've done a lot of stuff in comedy and a lot of stuff in technology space. So this kind of collides the two interests together. It was like a chance to work with Smosh, who I love, and a lot of other people that I love in the film world, writers that we used on the movie, and production designers, and really cool people in the camera department, and really make a movie that kind of spoofs the whole YouTube generation with other YouTube stars and stuff. So it was fun.
Yeah, it was so funny the way you guys kind of put those two worlds together. It was really great. So
thank you.
yeah, I know it's going to be available for the public soon, but for now, can you just give an overall synopsis?
Well, it's basically, looking at Ian and Anthony as these two guys living together, whose lives are, not going anywhere, and Anthony has had this long-standing crush on a girl, and then he discovers there's a humiliating clip of him on YouTube, and he has to get it taken down if he's any chance of getting anywhere with this girl. But they end up literally having to go inside YouTube to get the video pulled down. So it's this sort of odyssey through YouTube to try to get this humiliating video removed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was so funny. Like, I'm just so excited for everyone to see it. And the red carpet premiere is actually tomorrow. Are you excited for that?
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. I love seeing this movie with an audience. We've showed it to audiences before, and it plays really well, and it's just fun to see what they respond to.
Mm-hmm. If you had to pinpoint the demographic, who do you think would enjoy the movie the most?
Well, it's made for the Smosh audience, and then it's made for anyone who's sort of come up watching YouTube and sort of would enjoy seeing Harley doing stuff, and Jenna Marbles, and Grace Helbig, and Markiplier. There's other people in there from YouTube, so I think it really speaks to that generation, and it also just makes fun of that entire world. Yeah,
it's pretty much a spoof, which I like.
Yeah.
So how much control did you have kind of in not only directing, but kind of, did you do any casting, any of that stuff as well?
Yeah, well, that's your job as a director. You sort of oversee all the departments, the casting, the writers, the camera department, the acting, all of that is kind of under your purview. So we had a really great team, and it's a collaborative effort, and Ian and Anthony know their comedy really well. They know what works for them really well, so we had a really good time working together.
Yeah. For sure. Did you have any moments on set that you just recall because they're really funny, really embarrassing, anything you can spill?
Every day was bananas. So, it really was. And we were always looking to make things funnier, so we were always looking to make sure that whatever was going on set that was funny, that we stuck it in front of the camera. Mm-hmm. So that there were sometimes gags that we just put in front of the camera just for fun. And we had to make sure that while we had a very specific shooting schedule, that we stayed open-minded enough to allow for things to happen spontaneously. So it was a fun set with a lot of great comic talent, and we just made sure if anyone was doing anything funny, we'd be like, wait, stop. Let's get that in the scene.
Get this on video.
Exactly. Yeah.
So were you actually to use spontaneous clips in the movie, or you just use them for you guys to enjoy?
We would just build them into the scene. So the movie was very specific. So if something seemed humorous to us at the time, or, if there was a funny physical moment that was happening, we'd find a way to build it into the scene. Or we'd find a way to build it into the movie.
That's awesome. Well, props to you on that. When you were younger, do you think you're more like Ian or Anthony?
I don't know. It's a tough question. I was kind of like a combination of both of them, depending on what mood I was in. They both have a really good sense of humor, and in some ways their humor is very similar, and in some ways it's physically very different. Yeah. Probably Ian.
Hopefully the best of him, right?
Yeah, I love both those guys. They're awesome. But yeah, I probably had a more whacked out sense of humor, more whacked out physicality.
That's cool. And of course their YouTube is all about, stunts and comedy and whatnot. What's your favorite of theirs?
I don't know. I like a lot of their stuff, and I like the differences, and I like the fact that they can go from really physical stuff to stuff that's more somber or personal. Mm-hmm. It's kind of all over the place, and that's what I like about it, in that what defines it is their personalities, and they bring a lot of their personality into it. So it's not cold, it's not distance. I think that one of the reasons that Smosh has such a big audience is you kind of know who these guys are, and it is genuinely who they are. So they do share a lot of their kind of personal attitudes and feelings and even their personal history with their audience. So I like that. I like that it's well-rounded, and I like that it's personal.
Yeah, very organic and, you know, not sugar-coated, I guess.
Yeah, and not distanced. You don't feel like you're just seeing, even though their comedy is broad, there is a personality behind it, and I think that's very important.
So was it one of your goals to really make sure their personalities stuck throughout the movie? Yeah,
one of my goals was to sort of make the comedy a little less broad than it would be on YouTube, where you're dealing with these very short bites, and a short bite can be super aggressive. But a 90-minute movie can't sustain that kind of level of energy. It would just burn you out in like 5 minutes. So we had to sort of figure out a way to retain their sense of humor, but sort of pull it all in a more grounded area. And they worked really hard. They did a great job doing that, I think.
For sure, they did, yes, because like I said, I loved the movie. So the movie is coming out very soon. Just give the date where people can watch it.
Well, the movie will be available everywhere, on iTunes and everywhere, on Friday, July 24th, this coming Friday.
Okay, yes, very soon. And a lot of times in my interviews, I like to include kind of the behind the scenes. So you are a director. I actually don't get to speak to directors a lot, so this is great. So I just want to ask you, do you have any advice for people maybe my age in college who are looking to go that route?
Yeah, you guys are living in a really great time, you know. The means of production have never been simpler and cheaper. So, you know, it doesn't cost any money to write a script or write a skit, to shoot it on you know, a camera phone, to cut it simply on a laptop or, you know, some computer, whether it's yours or someone else's. That just is that type of ease of making a movie or a show or a skit has never existed ever. So it's a really amazing time. What it does mean is that a lot of people will say to me when I talk to them at film school, or just to people like, well, how do I cut through the clutter? How do I get my stuff to get seen when there's so much stuff? I think that just means you have to be good. You know, it means you have to work really...
That's what it comes down to.
It comes down to you have to work really hard at telling good stories, whether they're 15-second stories or 4-minute stories or 90-minute stories. Work on your storytelling. If you work on your storytelling, everything else will follow.
For sure. Now, do you have any upcoming maybe seminars or anything coming up? Because you just mentioned that you've been to film schools. Any of that stuff coming up for people?
Well, I'm always talking at film schools and things like that. So, and then I have a film that's coming out, another film that came out recently. It's a documentary about technology, and I've been traveling around with that movie doing a lot of talks. So,
that's fun.
Yeah, you can usually find me somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should come visit LMU someday.
I will.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. I'm going to hold you accountable to that.
Okay, good.
And I take it you're on social media. Can we have those links?
Yep, I am on Twitter. It's ALXWINTER, Alex Winter without the E. And I've got a Facebook page, and I got a website. It's just alexwinter.com.
Got it.
So
yes. I will put all those links down below so people following the actual you. And lastly, just tell people what makes Smosh different than any other project you've done.
Well, I'd never done a project that kind of mixed the web comedy world with the film world before. I've done a lot of stuff in technology and in the technology sector. I made a movie about Napster, and I just made a movie about the Silk Road. And sort of cryptography in the internet, but I'd never done anything that was comedic using my comedy directing with the comedy world from YouTube, even though I've known about it and I've known people in that world a long time. So it was really fun to work collaboratively with internet comedy people. That was new.
Yeah, well, I'm so happy that you were chosen for the director because, yeah, you honestly did such a great job, and
thank you.
I really liked it, of course.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow at the premiere.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You.